Happy Sunday, ladies and gentlemen. I'm gonna make a quick video before I get dressed to go to church. They in there yelling already, getting ready. But first of all, I've got to embellish myself on I made a list. I think I said a little bit of this in my last video. I'm gonna say it fully in this video just to stroke myself a little bit. But I made a list of positions that I felt like we need. Jerry, I'm a busy man for these next couple months, like next 3 months or whatever. But if you need me to work with you guys or whatever, because we're obviously completely in sync right now. Me and your front office, we're completely in sync. If you need me, I don't need to get paid. I don't need to get paid. I do things for the fun of it. So just call me. I might show up if I'm not too busy. But let me tell you why. I said I wanted one quarterback between rounds 4 and 7. Round 5, we got Mike White. I said we needed one running back between rounds 4 and 7. Round 6, we traded for Tavon Austin, and we're using them as our scat back. I said I wanted 3 wide receiver or tight end. However that pans out, 2 wide receivers, 1 tight end, or 2 tight ends and 1 wide receiver. And between rounds 3 and 7, not before round 3. And we picked up Michael Gallup, 3rd round. Wide receiver, Schultz, tight end, 4th round. And my boy, Cedric Wilson, wide receiver, 6th round. Now, Cedric Wilson is my Xavier Woods of this draft. I'll get into him later. Then I wanted 1 offensive lineman, and I told you I didn't feel like there was a plug-and-play offensive lineman coming out the draft that you can get outside of the 2nd round. So I wanted an offensive lineman in the 1st or 2nd round, and we got Connor Williams in the 2nd round. I wanted 1 defensive lineman, and we got 1 defensive lineman in the 4th round. I wanted 2 linebackers between rounds 1 and 7. I didn't care where they come because if a stud falls in the 1st, I wanted him as well. We got a linebacker in the 1st, and we got a linebacker later on in the 6th. And then the last one, when right before my YouTube, my stream got shut off. And by the way, the strike disappeared this morning somehow mysteriously. Thank you, YouTube. But during that stream, when they explained to us that Tavon Austin was going to be playing that scat back, the Lance Dunbar role. And I was like, I've never been that much of a fan of Lance Dunbar because in my estimation, all he did was he caught the dump off and he ran until he got tackled. And I'm like, well, that Tavon's floor, he can do that better than him. You know what I'm saying? So we can do that. And then hopefully we can find whatever Tavon can do or whatever else he can do. But I like that. And I said, go get Bo Scarborough. After that, go get Bo. And sure enough, we got Bo with that last pick. So because it's a perfect complement for a fast scat back, is a monster back. We didn't need another scat back or another back with hands and all that kind of stuff. We needed somebody that would plow. You know what I'm saying? So it made sense to me. I don't know about you, but it made sense to me. And this is why. I got the reasons why it made sense to me. And this is not saying that we're going to go and rule the NFC East and go to the top of the NFL. No. This is about structure of the football team. It's the coaches that's got to do something with this. And I don't feel like the coaches have any excuse right now. They have tools, they have weapons to start showing some serious progress. If the coaches don't show us progress, we don't have to see a Super Bowl right now. We got to see progress because we know we're in a rebuilding stage. So as long as we see that progress, we're going in the right direction on the field. But I'm not sure we're going to see that, ladies and gentlemen. We have to wait for that on the fall. All right. Number 1, Vander Esch. If he pans out, of course, eventual replacement for Sean Lee. Sean Lee's contract, bye-bye. Sean Lee, at this point, has to prove to us that he's worthy of that contract by trying to stay healthy. I don't know how you can do that, but that is the only drawback with Sean Lee, that he can't stay there on the field. And when he's not there on the field, we suffer tremendously. So we need some help for that. What he can do for us, Vander Esch, he's the perfect Tampa 2 linebacker. If he can be that, he can be absolutely huge for us. The second one, Connor Williams, I think I explained that. He gives us another stud on the line, but I hate to say this part. He's got a small contract, and it's insurance in case the contracts fall for any of the other guys or Tyron's back doesn't. You know what I'm saying? Anything falls apart with the other guy, at least we still got this guy. You know what I'm saying? But we don't want to think about that. We want to think about what he can do for us now. And what he can do for us now is we can have stud, and if he pans out, stud. Love it. Michael Gallup, new talented young contract in the wide receiver room. He can replace wide receivers like Terrence Williams and Cole Beasley. That would be huge to the wide receiver room, as I explained you many times, taking money off that group and throwing it on the offensive line. He's a crisp route. What he can do for us, he's a crisp route runner, similar to Beasley. So hopefully he can do the things that Beasley can do, plus a lot more. Now, I don't want to get rid of Beasley at all because Beasley is the one receiver that requires doubling right now. So he's very, very valuable to us. But if eventually this guy can show that he can do the same thing, which is a whole lot for him to show, but if he can, then we might be able to deal him or shed that contract or whatever. Again, I don't want to. Dorrance Armstrong. Again, DeMarcus Lawrence insurance. I think TV explained that to you. If Lawrence has a bad year, then we can let him go. If Lawrence has a great year and costs too much money, we can let him go. But if Lawrence stays within our price range, then we have 2 pass rushes. If not, we got 1, and then we'll move into another. What I think I already. I don't know if I said it already, but what he can do for us, when I looked at his tape, it didn't take me long. It didn't take me long to kind of like this dude because I saw some footage of him as a kid in Kansas when he first got there, and he was a natural pass rusher. They just put him in on passing situations. So he's got natural ability to get to the quarterback. Just give that Marinelli that toy and see what happens, because Marinelli has done some things with some people, okay? I'm not a huge Marinelli fan, but I will give the fact that Marinelli knows exactly what he's talking about when it comes to defensive line and coaching them up, period. Not even up for debate. The next pick, Dalton Schultz, replaces Witten's contract, of course, which we knew that was coming to an end anyway, not as abruptly as it did. But I still think we're going to bring another tight end in, for another free agent tight end in, because it's just too much inexperience there. And then we cannot depend on Rico. You know me, I was going Rico crazy last year, like Rico, but you get knocked out like that. And I was like 20 feet in front of him when he got knocked out. And, I mean, for the whole season? Okay, I think you guys know what I'm saying. The next pick was Mike White, another small contract for the quarterback room. We're not paying much for the quarterbacks at all. We're still paying for Romo. I think this is last year paying Romo. But another small contract for the quarterback room. That's huge. He creates competition. What he does for us, he creates competition immediately for the quarterback as far as backup with Cooper Rush. Like I've told you many times, I'm not comfortable with Cooper Rush as a backup. So this guy will compete for him immediately. And hopefully this guy will compete with Dak moving forward. This guy, I'm the kind of guy that likes a starting quarterback and a backup quarterback that's similar to each other. You know what I'm saying? So if the one go out, the other one come in, you can keep the same offense. But I kind of like the strategy here. This is kind of anti-Dak. He does things that Dak doesn't do well. Like he has an accurate deep ball. He probably has a little more accuracy than Dak. So Dak can work on his accuracy with this guy and see if he can get his accuracy up to this level or above. But this guy has trouble holding onto the ball. He fumbles, has trouble processing. He has a lot of other things that prevent him from being a top quarterback at this moment. So he has to work on all that stuff. And that's what I'm telling a lot of you guys that get bent out of shape because some of Dak's present aren't perfectly accurate. Yes, but you find a quarterback that does do all of those balls accurate, then they have other problems. Like they can't process, they can't do anything under pressure, they can't move. Like he doesn't have ability to move. So they have other things that restrict them also. So you have to look at the entire package with the quarterback, and what Dak Prescott has, I am good with completely. The next pick was Chris Covington, a former linebacker, but he's a small contract in the linebacker room. Make a veteran go away or whatnot. But he's also can be special teams. He's a former quarterback, so he can do a lot of things. I don't know what the coaches want from him, but I know where he fits as far as a linebacker to get rid of one of those guys that's looking for a contract. so we don't have to bring in a free agent for that position as well. Cedric Wilson, my next. Same as Gallup, but he compares more to Terrence Williams a little bit, but more Bryce Butler. You know what I'm saying? So I feel like I said, I feel like he's my Xavier Woods of this draft. This is the guy outside of Christian Kirk, which I was hurt when he didn't come to us. This is the guy I really liked when my, inexperienced eye was watching tape. But I went back today and I said, he can't be just that good, because I looked at his tapes again after we drafted him. I was just getting excited, but he can't get that good. And he does have issues. For one, I'm 5'10" and 175, and he's 188 and he's 6'3". So he's really, really thin for that for that height. So I don't know how strong he is. I don't care about the weight, because you can be strong at a low weight. I'm at one of the strongest points of my life at the lowest weight of my life. So that doesn't matter at all. You have to be able to use that strength at the line and his footwork at the line. Both have issues. He has to work on both of those. But I've seen him go and track the ball, the deep ball. He has deep ball experience where he can, that's a skill. Because in baseball outfield, I don't know where that ball is going. To know where that ball is going is a skill. And this guy completely has it. I've seen him go across the middle, when the ball isn't perfectly accurate and Dez has the ball going through his hands. I've seen him make that catch where he twists his body and makes the catch with his hands. So he does a lot of things down the field that's absolutely incredible. He just has to work on getting off the ball and whatnot. Love that guy. And the last pick was Bo Scarborough, small contract, replacing Alfred Morris, the big bruiser. When Zeke comes out, you got to deal with power or speed, pure power or pure speed. You don't get a breath. As soon as Zeke comes out, oh my, I got to take this big old boy down. Or, oh my, I got to make sure I catch Tavon. It's going to be like that for the defense. So I'm excited to see that. Now, again, to preface to blanket over all of this, I'm not saying how good we're going to be, because we are clearly defensive backs reshaped last year, wide receivers being reshaped this year. We're completely in a rebuilding stage. So I'm not going to say how well we're going to do, but we need to see the progress, because I said this over and over and over, our best case scenario is if these guys, Garrett and his crew, gets it together, and then they make it happen, because then we don't have to transition into another coach or whatever. But if we have to transition to another coach, the front office has given the new guy a clean slate, a clean salary cap, and some really nice players to work with. Love it. Absolutely love it. All right, guys. Going to spend some time with my family today, because I have been ignoring them for like 3 days, and you have too. So I'm going to go chill out with them. Have a good Sunday. You have a good Sunday, but I will be talking to you with the comments below. All right, guys. Holla at you. Peace.